You're like leaning so you can see between us. Sit up. Zach, if you break that chair.
I'm not going to break the chair, and if I do, she has it.
Zach, how long have you been training?
About 6 years.
How many days are you here each week?
Every day, except Saturday and Sunday.
And about how many hours does that?
9 or 10 hours.
Do you train outside of class?
Yes. I train conditioning most days every week. I'm training to get my black belt right now. It takes me about 5 or 6 hours a week to do conditioning and maybe the same amount to train for my black belt.
This is at home. Do you help him with that?
Yes and no. If he's getting ready for a competition, one of us will sit with him to time him, to make sure he stays on schedule with what he's working on. His conditioning, we do take him to CrossFit a couple of times a week, and so that benefits him, but then it also benefits us as well. But with his black belt, he has training material that he reads, so he kind of does that on his own.
Zach, what programs do you participate in?
I participate in junior karate, CMX, junior sparring, weapons class, and Storm and self-defense.
And what is Storm?
Storm is a leadership program that helps teachers improve on the material that they're teaching and how to be a better overall karate person.
What is your favorite class?
Probably weapons class.
And which weapon do you like the most?
Sword.
You are teaching as well as training?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that make your personal training harder or easier?
It can make it easier and harder. It helps you realize the mistakes that you need to work on, and it helps you realize how to teach others about karate.
Zach, do you have any specific goals for yourself over the course of this semester?
I'm trying to get my black belt before the end of May.
What are some of the benefits you've seen from Zach training?
Well, he started in 2nd grade, and so from 2nd grade to 8th grade, obviously his abilities in karate, his physical fitness, especially recently preparing for his black belt, and his maturity, learning how to lose gracefully and to also win gracefully.
Zach, what's been your biggest obstacle in your training?
Probably being able to convert feedback into doing better at karate. When I get feedback, normally I take it as a personal issue, and I don't think you're the person that's giving me feedback to try to help me. It just originally didn't convert to that, and I've been working on trying to improve myself on that.
What goals do you have for Zach?
I think we've talked about it together, and really we want him to achieve his black belt.
What do you do when your athlete maybe doesn't feel like training today?
You have to start with patience, understanding what they're going through, but then I personally had to have patience, because if your athlete is yelling and screaming, I don't want to do something, if you yell and scream back, you're just not going to accomplish anything. So you just have to be patient and forceful, tough love. And I mean, I wouldn't recommend pushing them out of the car, but maybe slowing down and nudging them out of the car and then leave. Because if you stay, then it just continues to escalate.
I'm assuming that you always knew it wasn't a matter that Zach didn't want to do this anymore. It was just a momentary thing, and you were trying to get him through that.
It's just that moment in time, and kids get tired, they get frustrated, they have hormones going, and you just have to kind of work with that and realize that it's not a permanent thing.
Zach, why do you think other athletes should train in karate?
Because it's a lot different than normal sports like football, basketball, baseball, the generic kind. It's different in a good way. It's stuff that you wouldn't normally do. It tests your physical strength, and it overall has made me a better person.
Why specifically should they come to this karate center?
Well, because Miss Rachel's good at what she does. If it weren't for her, then I probably wouldn't be as good as I am.
why do you think people should choose this karate center if they're gonna enroll their athlete?
There are a lot of options for classes, from beginner classes, intermediate, advanced, tumbling.
What would be your advice for a parent of a new athlete?
Positivity and patience.
What has been your proudest parent moment during Zach's training so far? Maybe something on the mats.
I see how he helps his sister practice because she's a new athlete. She's only been doing karate about a year or so now, maybe not even. I see him pulling her to the side and giving her tips on how to better do her form or her weapon.
Do you see any of his training convert over to things at home or at school, something that maybe has really stood out and made you proud of him that you could attribute back to his karate training?
Again, self-discipline, time management. I need to go do my homework, or Mom, I've got 10 minutes, I can unload the dishwasher.
Zach, you're in training a lot, you compete a lot. Karate seems to consume a lot of time in your life. Surely, though, you can come up with one moment that stands out to you over the last year is your favorite moment.
Well, in October, I traveled to Greece for 2 weeks to do a tournament. And while I was there was a park across from the hotel. So a couple of days before the tournament, because I needed to prep, because I'd been flying for so long and I hadn't gotten to practice, I went across to that park to practice. Well, people in Greece are not very familiar with martial arts. And I had a sword out in a public park. And someone didn't take that to heart very well, and they called the police on me in a foreign country.
Did you get arrested?
I had to explain to them that I was there for a tournament, and my dad was sitting on the sidewalk, just wondering what I was doing in front of a cop car. It was pretty funny. And they were like, "You, come here, American, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm here for a world tournament. It's okay. Staying at the Stanley, just across the street. These are fake weapons." He touched them. I was like, "Oh, okay, go back here." And I was like, "Thank you." He he sped off, like he didn't drive off abruptly, like he hit the gas.
I go to practice and you had just left, but I could totally see him saying that.
"Sherman, what are you doing? In the middle of the form." "Dad, I gotta go talk to the cops real quick." That's exactly what I said too. Yeah, it was funny.